Gentlemen, welcome back. And today we are playing through the X-Wing campaign using the XWVM mod. Brand new campaign, brand new start. So for all the old returning players, I'm going to try my best to showcase what the mod has to offer in terms of like new features. For all the new players that are getting on board the game, welcome. I'm going to try my best and walk you through some of the initial missions of the campaign. So first things first, let me go over some of the rules that we're going to be using for this playthrough. So in terms of game rules, we're not changing any of the limits for projectiles or craft, but we are using these two. So the balanced energy transfer rate and the enemy firepower debuff. So the energy transfer rate, if you want an explanation of what this does, I suggest watching my previous video, which is quite short, where I just cover what it actually does. All you need to know is that it fundamentally rewires one of the core mechanics in the game regarding the energy management system. That combined with the remove firepower debuff basically makes X-Wing a lot more simulator-like than arcade-like. We can't tank 50 turbo laser shots to the face and then walk away. That's not going to happen. If we do that, we die instantly. Trying to solo a Star Destroyer is also going to be like really, really difficult. So we're probably not going to be able to do that. Now, on top of that, what we're going to do is that we are going to play on the hard difficulty. Now, from what I've been told is that the hard difficulty actually doesn't do anything. Like for medium and hard, it's exactly the same. The only difference between these difficulty settings is if you click easy. If you use the easy difficulty, your stats and your ally Starfighter stats, they get increased, so you have more shields, more hull, and the enemy, they get a debuff, so they have less hull, less shields, all that kind of stuff. So it's like just a placeholder, basically the hard difficulty, but we're going to use it anyway. So we create a pilot here. All right, brand new pilot. We'll select a different portrait. There's red leader. There we go. We'll use him. Nice, perfect. All right. So that's the difficulty modifiers. Now, the other thing that we're going to be doing is that I'm going to be, adding an RPG element to this playthrough. So we are deploying a squadron, right? So these are all the pilots that are part of our squadron here. And they're all named after my friends who play games with me. And what we're going to do is that we are only going to use wingmen that I've created on this pilot selection screen here, all right, throughout the entire campaign. And what we're looking to do is try and level up some of these pilots. So I've gone and taken the liberty of giving some of these pilots better AI ranks so that they perform better. But some of them are just rookie pilots. So they're fresh green pilots. And what we want to do is we want to try and level them up throughout the campaign so that when we get to the later tours of duty, where we have to engage like Star Destroyers or big engagements, we want to have them leveled up so that they can lend a little bit more help to us. So I've added a game within the game, basically. We have an operational level to this campaign that we're about to embark on. Now, I'm not entirely sure whether this is a good idea because I haven't seen anyone else on YouTube like try to use this mechanic in the game, and I'm assuming that it doesn't really work in the sense that I think leveling up pilots by playing the tour of duty is like really, really difficult, and I think you're better off just using the default ones that they give in the mission. And if that is the case, what I'll do is that at the end of every tour, I'll give myself some leeway and just manually promote like one or two pilots. I won't promote everybody because that would defeat the purpose of trying to make an RPG element to the game. But yeah, I'll try balance it out basically if it doesn't work. But yeah, that's what I got going planned here. And finally, the last thing I just need to add is that I'm going to be using the voice attack program, which is a third-party voice recognition software. And basically what I'm using that is to use that program to help me order the wingman around. So that way I don't need to press a million other buttons whilst I'm trying to dogfight TIE fighters. So I'm using voice attack to help me coordinate the wingman. I've also inputted commands to help me with some of the more nuanced targeting procedures on the targeting computer. So yeah, so it's basically voice attack. I'll be talking to the program in the game. I'll be talking to my wingman and the astromech droid in the back, basically. So yeah, that's all the things that we're going to be doing with this playthrough in the campaign. So I've talked way too long for this introduction. So let me just select a new pilot here and enter the Independence.
You may proceed.
All right, so
welcome to Tour of Duty registration, sir.
All right, so yeah, Tour 1, let's begin.
Good luck, sir.
So we get the slow crawl like in the original movies. All I have to say is that regarding the first 3 tours of duty, it's basically where you'd think we are in like the second season of Andor, where the Rebel Alliance is in its very early days, and we are the insurgency, right? We're the space insurgency. We cannot afford to take like front-on pitched battles against the Empire. All of our missions are all designed around hit-and-run attacks and sabotage, reconnaissance, that sort of thing. So
the attack against an Imperial convoy has turned up a surprise.
Okay, so I'll debate whether or not to let these briefings run through the entire thing, but for this one, I'll just walk us through what we're supposed to do. So we're raiding this Imperial convoy, right? This is mission 1 of Tour 1. And basically what happens is that this Corvette over here decides to defect. So Blue Squadron Y-Wings, their job is to get over here, secure the Corvette that's trying to defect, and also secure the freighters that are nearby. Our job as Red Squadron X-Wings is to destroy all of the freighters, alright? And we have to be quick with this because they are currently en route to a hyperspace point, so we need to get them before they get there. In terms of opposition, there's basically nothing. This mission and the next mission and also the third mission, these are like the tutorial type missions. So these are all designed to try to get the player familiar with all the base game mechanics before they start throwing you up against Star Destroyers and whatnot. So now, like I said at the beginning, we are adding a different element to the game. What we want to do is that we want to bring all our rookie pilots along for the majority of the missions for this first tour, because we want to get them leveled up so that by the time we have to go and take on bigger things, we're not going to be left hanging alone by ourselves. So I'm going to be focusing on just bringing as many rookies as I can and try to get them leveled up. And as I said before, I'm not entirely sure if this strategy is going to work. For all I know, we might not be able to level them up that easily. But yeah, we'll try it anyway. So I'm going to select Gorgazor here. Assign selected pilot. So the way the mission is designed, you as the player, you don't actually get command of the flight. You're supposed to be the new guy, right? But of course we're switching things up here. But if I'm correct, for this mission and then mission 3, you still are allowed to give orders like as if you are the commander. So you know, it's kind of screwed up there, but it is what it is. So this is Red Squadron. Oh, so I say Red Section. There's only 2 fighters, a single element. So I've assigned Gorgazor here to be my wingman, although technically I'm his according to the game. And then we have Blue Squadron Y-Wings. So we can select these guys as well, and we also want to put the rest of our rookie pilots. So I'm putting Flame in command of Blue Squadron, assign selected pilot, and then his wingman, Blue 2. I'm going to assign Steel. There we go. Assign. Alright, so we have our entire squadron, quote unquote, all assigned. Everyone's set. Alright, here we go. Alright, let's go. Okay, there's my wingman. There's the first freighter. We bring up the map here. Alright, we want to engage the freighters on the far side. Attack my target.
Roger, using designated target.
Alright, so I've just ordered Gorg to engage the second furthest freighter. I'm going for the furthest freighter.
Got him.
Right, let's switch off shields. We won't need that today. Full throttle. So the problem with voice attack is that if I'm like commentating and then I give an order, it won't recognize the order. So I need to like pause, and sometimes I might have to like repeat myself as well. So yeah, we got problems with that. I am using a head tracker, so the webcam with open track, so that's what I'm using to look around. So Y-Wing Blue is currently behind us. They're securing the Corvette. Gorg is behind me slightly. You can't see him, but he's right behind us. He's moving to engage the second furthest freighter. Alright, Transport Dagger has entered the combat zone. That's our commando boys that are moving in to secure the defecting Corvette. Alright. I'm gonna switch some power from the lasers to the engines. Alright, we're going at 137 right now. That's pretty fast for X-Wing. We're gonna engage with our proton torpedoes here, just in case. I'm pretty sure you can catch up to this freighter with just lasers long before it reaches the hyperspace point, but I'm not gonna take any chances. As I've said, because this is like technically the tutorial mission, there's not much opposition. Doesn't mean there is no opposition, as you're about to see soon here. But let's just wrap up the mission objectives here as fast as possible. Okay, we're 6 clicks in closing. Okay, torpedoes are getting the lock. Twin linked everything. Pops away. See how much damage 2 torps will do here. Fire another volley. Okay, 58% of the shields. This next one will knock out the shields. We'll switch to lasers now. So you can hear, for the new players there, the reason why our lasers sound kind of weak is because they are. We only have the first level of charge. And because I'm using the new energy transfer rate, trying to switch using the shield generators, not going to quite work out. Actually, no, that's incorrect. That wouldn't help in this situation, my bad. Yeah, trying to commentate and dogfight at the same time is really hard. Alright, there we go. Scratch 1. Okay, so Gorg is about to start engaging the second furthest freighter here, which we have locked up in the targeting computer. Now, I'm not sure how this works, but I think that if I let my wingman kill more things, they level up faster. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll find out with this playthrough. So let's engage the second freighter here. What we want to do is just bring it down to until it's about to die, and then let Gorg get the kill on it. Okay. You hear Gorg engaging there? Yep, there he is. Okay, almost got the shields down. Okay, I'm just gonna slot in behind it since I don't need to maneuver so much. Okay, there we go. It's one shot. Gorg should be able to finish that off. Okay, we're gonna go on for the next freighter. Yep, Gorg got it. Okay. Attack my target.
Roger, using designated target.
Okay, so I've ordered Gorg to engage the next freighter here. We're gonna do the same thing. Try to get it down to one shot and let him claim the kill. Alright, Corvette has been captured by Transport Dagger. We are looking good. Okay, we're gonna start charging up the shields because the Imperial is about to send quick reaction force to try and stop us now. Yep, there we go. So you can see a Nebulon B frigate has entered the combat zone. Under normal circumstances, you could totally knock out the frigate by yourself. We are not going to risk that because I don't want to lose Gorg. We're trying to get him leveled up. I forgot to mention at the start that if we die, or if any of our wingmen die, we are just going to revive them. This isn't going to be like a hardcore run or anything like that. Okay, there we go, one shot on him. But the problem with reviving pilots is that it resets their scores. It doesn't reset their pilot skill, but the overall score, which means it's harder to level them up. So there is a penalty that we suffer. Okay, attack my target.
Destroyed. Roger, using designated target.
Okay, well, one more freighter. I'm just gonna use our last 2 torps here. Oh, hang on. This freighter doesn't have shields. What? That is interesting. Okay, okay. Alright, I'm gonna hit this, and then we're out of here. So the Corvette and Transport Dagger is away. There they are. Blue Squadron, I think, is about to bug out as well. Okay, let's wrap this up. We got 2 TIE Fighters closing in behind us now. They're still quite far away. Yep, 8 clicks, 8.5 clicks out and closing though. So let's wrap this up. Forgot. I was supposed to let go, get the kill. Alright, never mind. Alright, we're out of here then. Engage hyperdrive, process foils. Mission accomplished. We could have taken out a couple of the TIE fighters there at the end, get some more points there. But I'm going to be playing this whole campaign pretty conservatively, just because of all the modifiers that I've added. You can't take too much chances. If you're trying to like hit on a TIE fighter, usually you would be able to just, walk it off. You could take on 3 at one time and just walk it off and, nothing happens. With the modifiers I've added, that is not going to be a possibility. Oh no. Alright, so debrief here. We got all the freighters destroyed. 99, 98%, yeah, they were all stationary anyway, it doesn't really matter. Okay, Gorgazor here, he's got 3 freighter kills, and yeah, he's made progress on becoming an officer. So 5,000, okay, so 5,000 out of 65,500 out of 65,500. Yeah, we might run into some problems here with my RPG element campaign system, but we'll rectify it along the way. We have to. Oh yeah, here's Blue Squadron. Yeah, good stuff. 1,700 for just flying around. Well done, Flame and Steel. All right.
Rebel intelligence.
Okay, so this is mission 2. To be honest, this mission is pretty dull and boring if you play it as the way High Command wants you to play it. It is possible to wipe out the whole task force. I've seen a couple of people do this, and it is very impressive. But of course, we're not going to try that because I've never attempted that, and I'm most definitely I'm not going to attempt it with the difficulty modifiers that I've changed, because I don't think it's actually that possible, because it takes like 2 hours to do it if you want to wipe out everybody. But yeah, I'm not going to even try. So what we have to do in this mission is that we're all alone, so we don't have the option of trying to level up our wingman, and all we need to do is just fly past all of the Imperial starships in the task force, identify them, and then run. That's it. We don't need to shoot anybody, we don't need to engage anybody. It's like a pacifist kind of mission, kind of run kind of thing.
Read these instructions for more.
So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Right, so there's our A-wing. Let's begin. Now it is possible to farm. Like I said, you can destroy the whole task force. If you don't want to do that, the other thing you can do is you can farm the TIE fighters, because there's a frigate here that will keep constantly spawning TIE fighters. What I'm going to do is that I'm just not going to even bother. I'm just going to not engage, just ID all the spacecraft. I will definitely edit this whole mission because it is not that interesting to see, except for the part where all the starships are shooting at you, of course. Okay, so that is the frigate I was talking about. I believe it's called the Warspite, but we'll just go in here and check it out. So right there, if you paid attention, I just transfer all my lasers to the shields, and you can see I've only gotten like 5% of the next shield bar. That's the difference with using the energy modifier transfer rate. Alright, I need to focus up here. Dodge, weave, dodge, weave. Okay, there we go. We've identified as the Warspite. Okay, TIE Fighter's right behind us. We'll bring up the map on our MFD on the right side here. Okay, we are walking away from the TIE Fighters. Yep, we should be out of range momentarily. Okay, 2 corvettes have entered play. There they are. Move to identify them. So I'm charging up the shields here, just in case, you never know. Okay, identify Corvette 1. New freighters entered play. Identify Corvette 2. Freighter is behind us. There he is. Okay, need to avoid this fire here. Now the modifier that you want to enable to make starships more deadly is the projectile limit. You want to increase that, and yeah, the volume of fire starships will be able to pour out is absolutely ridiculous. But I am not brave enough to do that at this point in time, so we are not going to do that. Okay, these are the ones that are unknown. That's fine. Okay, identified. Walking over. Identified. Okay, we've already identified all of these. Check. Okay, yeah, there's one we've missed. Moving back. Okay, we're gonna put shields in maintenance mode. We've already got everything charged up, so we need speed. Alright, there we go. Identified. Just cycle through all contacts. Yep, we've got everybody so far. We need to wait for the next wave then. 2 TIE fighters still trailing us. They can't catch us. There's like no way. Unless you put everything into your lasers and shields, then I think they might be able to get some gain some distance on you. But since we've already got all our shields charged and we're not intending to shoot anybody, we're going at a speed of 150, so yeah, there's no way they're catching up anytime soon. They could try though. Yep, and they are trying. Yeah, this is a very long and tedious mission. And we're not even trying to knock out everybody. Yep. That one takes even long and far more tedious. Yeesh. I think the fastest one I've seen is like 1 hour 40 minutes or something. Somebody's done it. 1 hour and 40, taking out this whole task force. Okay, here we go. New ships inbound. Okay, one more group left. We're extending away. There it is. A group of frigates, 2 frigates. Okay, this should be the last group. Alright, bob and weave, bob and weave. Okay, harasser 1 identified, harasser 2 identified. There we go, mission accomplished. Just for fun, we'll just identify this big guy over here. The invincible, there we go. Alright, now we can leave. Activate hyperspace, hyperdrive. 6 interceptors now inbound. Alright, time to go. And that's the end of the second mission. Yep. Not too exciting, but it is a simulator after all, and this is also the tutorial mission. You will get other missions like this along the way where not much happens, but it is what it is. Not everything that you do in the rebellion is going to be, you know, exciting.
Our fleet is evacuating all of our forces.
Now, this mission and the one after this, things get intense, but I think we'll save that for the next episode. So if you enjoyed this playthrough so far. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.